We've already seen the basics of algebra so far as quant part of CAT is concerned. For those who missed these videos, they are already uploaded on the channel. You can go and view them. Now we will start with the questions from past CAT papers so far as this section algebra is concerned. We'll be taking a set of 5 questions all from past CAT papers and we will be solving. So let's begin. These are the set of 5 questions which we'll be discussing in this video. For those who have not solved these already, please pause this video, try to solve all of these and then start looking at the solutions. So let us start with the first question. It is given that if x1 and x2 are the roots of the quadratic equation x square minus 2x plus c equal to 0 and also satisfy 7x2 minus 4x1 equal to 47, then which of the following is true? So if x1 and x2 are the roots, we know that if alpha and beta are the roots of a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, we know that alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a and alpha beta equal to c by a. So we'll use this simple formula here. So this gives that x1 plus x2 equal to minus of minus 2 by 1, that is 2, and x1 x2 equal to c by a, that is c. And we also have another equation 7x2 minus 4x1 is equal to 47. So from this equation, let me take the value of x2. So x2 here will be 2 minus x1. Okay. So x2 will be 2 minus x1 minus 4x1 is equal to 47. So this means that 14 minus 7 plus 4, 11x1 is equal to 47. So 11x1 will be my minus 14 minus 47. So that will be equal to minus 33. So x1 will be equal to minus 3. So if x1 is equal to minus 3, then substitute in this equation, your x2 will be 5. So is that there in any of the options? No, this is not the answer. This is not the answer. Now let us see what is C. C is x1 into x2. So this means that C is equal to minus 3 into 5, which is minus 15. So hence C equal to minus 15. A is the correct answer. Coming to question 2. So here we have been given a table and the question says for suitable constants a, b and c, which of the following best describes the relation between x and y? So there are 6 x values and 6 corresponding y values given, and option A is a simple equation, linear equation with two unknowns a and b. So 2 points are required to find what this equation is, and then post that you need to check if the same equation is getting satisfied for all the points, all 6 points, right? Only then this would be the equation. Similarly, in the case of B, you have A, B and C, 3 unknowns. So 3 points will be required for you to find the values of A, B and C, and then you have to check for rest of the 3 whether it is satisfying or not. For A equal to e power A plus bx, again A and B are 2 unknowns here. So 2 of the points would be required, and then the option D obviously is none. So if you see these points which are given, so the easiest ones are always to take the initial ones because they are the smaller values of x and y, so your calculations will be easier. So for option A, let me take y equal to a plus bx. Let me take 2 points, x equal to 1, y equal to 4 and x equal to 2, y equal to 8. By simple observation, you can see that it is of the form y equal to mx, where m is equal to 4, right? So this satisfies for both of these. If x equal to 1, y equal to 4. If x equal to 2, y equal to 8, right? So let us see if it is getting satisfied now for the rest of the points. Now if x is equal to 3, then what should y be? 12. But here for x equal to 3, we have y equal to 14. So clearly this is not our answer. A is not the answer. Now let us look the case of B. B is a plus bx plus cx square. So let us take 3 points. First point is 1 comma 4. In that case we have y4 is equal to a plus b plus c. Then we have y equal to 8 equal to a plus 2b plus 4c. Then we have y equal to 14, which gives a plus 3b plus 9c. So say this is equation 1, 2 and 3. Let me do 2 minus 1, then I'll get b plus 3c equal to 4. If I do 3 minus 1, I'll get again okay, let me do 3 minus 2 so that I'll get b and I can subtract. So b plus 5c is equal to 14 minus 8, that is 6. So in this case I will get, if you subtract, say this is equation 4 and this is equation 5. So subtract 4 from 5, you'll get 2c equal to 2. Then you get c equal to 1. Once you get c equal to 1, substitute in any of these equations, you get b equal to 1. Once you have these two values, substitute in a plus b plus c equal to 4, we get a equal to 2. So now we have the equation, if at all this is the correct answer, we have equation as 2 plus x square. So if this is the case, then 4, 5 and 6 also should get the right values for this. Let us take x equal to 4. If x is equal to 4, for this equation 2 plus x square, what would be the value? 2 plus 4 plus 16. So that is 22. So this is correct. Now let us take x equal to 5. In that case, what would be this equation? 2 plus 5 plus 25. So that is 30 plus 2, 32. This is also correct. Now let us take x equal to 6. 2 plus 6 plus 36. That is 42 plus 2, 44. This is also correct. So our answer is B. Right? So this is satisfying our equation. For someone who's very good at graphs, you can draw a quick graph if you're very comfortable with that. And you can clearly see that this graph is not a linear equation also and not an exponential equation also. So it's a quadratic equation. But given that there is an option D which is none, you will have to quickly check whether quadratic equation is actually the answer or not. So if we would have had some other equation in option D, then directly by drawing the graph, we could answer this question. Now let's move to question 3. Question 3 says if x, y, z are real such that x plus y plus z is 5 and xy plus yz plus zx equal to 3. Then the largest value that x can have is what? So if you see in the question, we have two equations and three unknowns x, y and z. One idea to understand or have any information about x is have the equation of the form ay square plus by plus c equal to 0, or the similar equation in z, az square plus bz plus c equal to 0. After which we know that x, y and z are real. Hence b square minus 4ac would be greater than or equal to 0. And we get an inequation purely in x. This means that get a quadratic equation where a in either y or z, where a, b and c have traces of x. So basically we have to convert these two equations into a single quadratic equation in two variables, and one of which is x, and we will treat it as a constant, and then we will use this inequation to get more information about x. So I will be trying to get this type of quadratic equation, az square plus bz plus c equal to 0. For that, what I will do is my first equation I will be writing as y equal to 5 minus x minus z, and I will substitute this in the equation 2. That gives me x into 5 minus x minus z plus z into 5 minus x minus z plus zx equal to 3. So this gives 5x minus x square minus xz plus 5z, again minus xz, I am writing similar terms at one place, minus z square plus zx is equal to 3. Right? So plus zx minus zx you can cancel. So you will be having something like, and I'm comfortable with plus z square, so I will take it to everything to the right side, or whatever, rather multiplying with the negative symbol. Then we have z square minus 5z plus xz plus x square minus 5x equal to minus 3. It comes this side and becomes plus 3 equal to 0. So now this is of the form z square plus z into x minus 5 plus x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Let us take this b square minus 4ac for this one. So that would be x minus 5 whole square minus 4, a is 1 and c is your x square minus 5x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Now let us simplify this. We have x square minus 10x plus 25 minus 4x square plus 20x minus 12 is greater than or equal to 0. So you have minus 3x square plus 10x plus 13 is greater than or equal to 0. So I'll multiply it with negative 1 so that I'll have a positive coefficient for x. I'm more comfortable with positive coefficients of x. So then let us factorize this. We have 3x square minus 13x plus 3x minus 13 is less than or equal to 0. Right? So you know that one crucial point for this equation. So if it is an equality, what would be your roots? One root will be your 13 by 3. Say this is as origin. And one root will be your x plus 1. So that is minus 1. Right? Somewhere here, minus 1. So how would your in equation, how would be your y equal to this 3x square minus 10x plus 13 look like? So it will be somewhere like this. So it will be less than or equal to 0 for all the values between minus 1 and 13 by 3. And that is what we need, right? So these are all the values which x can take, minus 1 to 13 by 3 both included. Now what did they ask? Largest value of x. So that would be your 13 by 3. Let's move to next question. Let us now look at question 4. Here is an expression given and it is said that x, y, z are distinct and positive and they are real. Then they are asking whether that expression is greater than 4 or greater than 5 or greater than 6. Someone would think that everything which is greater than 6 is obviously greater than 5 and everything that is greater than 5 is obviously greater than 4. But you should understand that in these kind of questions, what they actually mean when they give these different options is that they are looking for those values that this expression can take. Meaning, if you say it is greater than 4, it means that this expression will be able to take any value which is greater than 4. So you should be very careful before eliminating options here. Someone would say that if it is greater than 5, it is anyways greater than 4, so it may not be the answer. And similarly with the 6, and hence I will go with a 4 or none. But you should not eliminate like that in these cases, because when they are asking particularly about this expression, especially in these kind of questions, time and again there were options where there is a part of the answer which is common. So what they actually mean is it should be able to take all the values which are greater than some a, where a can be 4 or 5 or 6. So with this understanding, one who is very good at numbers, you can directly answer this question, because for these kind of expressions, if you see the lowermost or the highermost value happens when x equal to y equal to z equal to 1. For those who practiced it very well, only then you will be able to take this call. And once you substitute that, you will get 2 plus 2 plus 2 by 1, which is 6. And here, because it said that it is distinct and positive and real, you can take any value, x equal to 1, y equal to 2 and z equal to 3, and see what the value is giving. And if it is greater than 6, then you can safely go with this answer. But for those who want to do it from the first principles, again this method I suggest only for those people who are very good with these kind of expressions, dealing with these expressions and numbers, so that you can intuitively understand that the highest or the lowest happens when all three are equal and they are equal to 1. So if you are someone who is not very comfortable in these kind of questions or in these kind of expressions, it is always better and safe to go from first principles. So let us now split these. So this is method 1. Now coming to method 2, let us now write the numerator elaborately. x square y plus x square z plus y square x plus y square z plus z square x plus z square y, the whole divided by x, y, z. So if you break each term, it gives you x by z plus x by y plus y by z plus y by x plus z by y plus z by x. Now you have to just remember one thing here, x by y plus y by x is greater than 2. So this is a very common formula which we derive and we use time and again in these kind of expressions. So it is actually greater than equal to 2 if x can be equal to y. It is greater than 2 if x cannot be equal to y. Okay. So now in this case, you can find all such pairs. You can find actually 3 such pairs. You can find x by y and y by x, and then you can find x by z and z by x, and then you can find y by z and z by y. So you have 3 pairs. So one of x by y plus y by x plus x by z plus z by x plus y by z plus z by y, right? So each of these is greater than 2, so the whole of this thing would be greater than 6. So your answer from the first principles is also 6. Let us move to last question now. So this question says that if bx minus ay by bc is equal to ay minus cz by ac, that is equal to cz minus bx by ab, then given that bx is not equal to ay, is not equal to cz, because if they're equal, all the numerators will be 0 and 0 equal to 0 equal to 0, and it holds good for any of these, right? So it given that this is the case, bx is not equal to ay, is not equal to cz, then what is the possible answer? So by just looking at the options, we can eliminate B, C and D. How? Because if you look at the question, right, x, y and z are cyclical, in the sense no one is given preference over the other. Similarly, A, B, C are cyclical. No one term is given preference over the other. Right, there's one positive for A here and one negative for A, one positive for B and one negative for B, one positive for C and one negative for C, right? So there is no special weightage given to any of these terms. So the answer should be in such a way that all the 3 terms are equal. Say if in my option there is something like A, B, C equal to 0, right, then I may have to worry, because in this case A, B, C are equally divided in the option. So in this option also, in option A, B, B, C and C are equally divided. But if you see in option B, 2 of them have an undue advantage. Here also one has an undue advantage and 2 of them have undue advantage. So the option is clearly A. But let us also solve from first principles. So let me equate bx minus ay by bc is equal to k. In that case, my ay minus cz by ac will also be equal to k, and cz minus bx by ab will also be equal to k. So now what you need to find is ab plus bc plus ca. So let us find ab plus bc plus ca. So what will be your ab? Your ab will be cz minus bx by k plus what will be your bc? That is bx minus ay by k, and what will be your ac? That is ay minus cz by k. So you can take as a k as common LCM, then in that case all of these terms get cancelled in the numerator and you will have a 0. So the answer is 0. So this is a very simple question, but instead of even spending these 30 seconds, in first 5 seconds itself you can directly mark answer for this. In this video we have finished our first practice set. So in upcoming videos we'll be looking at more such sets which contain questions, quant questions from previous CAT papers. Thank you.